My name is Rakesh Khanna. I am a research analyst with Marmor. Marmor is a majority-owned subsidiary of Kuwait Financial Center, Marcus. Established in 2010, Marmor has developed full-fledged research capabilities covering multiple areas such as infrastructure research, economic research, capital market studies, policy analysis, etc. Focused on the MENA region, Marmor is focused on serving the knowledge needs of its clients and stakeholders. Today, we'll be looking at the sector-wise profit margins of GCC companies. Questions about this topic can be asked anytime during the course of the webinar and will be addressed at the end of the presentation. Recordings of the same would be sent in a day or two, and it will also be uploaded onto the Marmor's website as well as on its YouTube channel. Alternatively, you can also send questions about this topic to my email address, which would be rkhanna@marcus.com. It is RKHAN followed by another N at marcus.com. We have divided the presentation into three major sections. The first section talks about the overview of profit margins across the industries. Then we look at the external and internal factors affecting the margins. Finally, we look at we do the sector-wise analysis of profit margins. Okay, for this particular exercise, what we have done is we have taken the net profits for the past 5 years for listed companies from the GCC region. All this data and sector classification has been done as per Reuters standards. We have for this study we have excluded banks as they are all heavily leveraged, and this usually skews the profit margins. The GCC countries have had a lot of economic growth in the past 5 years, but not all of the industries have had a similar trend. For example, the financials and healthcare have had a good run of the past 5 years, while telecom, energy, and utilities have not had similar results. They have gone on the negative trend. So the second slide, it talks about the margin expansion. Margin expansion has been quite higher for the technology companies. The main reason behind that is technology companies have a very small footprint in the GCC region. As a result of which, they have started off their operations from a very lower base, which is the reason behind such a drastic increase in their profit margin within a short span of 4 years. NBFCs in the region, they actually have been handsomely benefited by the real estate gains in the market, which is the reason behind such a sharp increase in their profitability over the past 4 years. Similarly, the telecom market, it has witnessed a contraction in their profit margin. The reason behind that is the GCCs are quite saturated. Most of the countries have mobile penetration that exceeds 150%. So as a result of which, most of the telecom companies have not been able to improve much on their profitability. Okay, in the next 3 slides, we'll be looking at the profit margins as per market capitalization. First, we'll go look at the profit margins of large cap companies. Large cap companies in the region have had a lot of government patronage through contracts, access to raw materials at very cheap prices, etc. Some of the likes include SABIC, Qatar Industries, MR Properties, etc. As a result of which, we can see that the overall profit margin it has remained in the double digit even after the oil price crash. If you look at it, it started off in 2011 at 17.4%, but it has been quite stable, and as of 2015, the profit margin still stands at 16.3%, which is quite healthy. Unfortunately, it is not so in case of the mid-cap stocks. We can look at the telecom sector as one such example. For example, Etisalat, Saudi Telecom, and Ooredoo, all they are large cap companies. So these companies have had first mover advantage, and they enjoy better margins compared to their mid cap peers such as Vodafone Qatar and Mobile Telecommunications Corporation. Vodafone Qatar is yet to even break even. As a result of which, the margins in this but mid-cap telecom companies remain very low. Small-cap companies are still in the phase of establishing a foothold in the GCC market, so which is the reason behind not so great profitability among this segment. Next, we look at the external internal factors that affect the margins of the GCC companies. Okay, oil prices. The GCC companies have very little control over the oil prices. It is determined internationally as a result, and most of their government spending, it completely depends on the oil prices. As a result of which, as oil prices go down, government's spending would also go down. They will at least rationalize the spending, as a result of which we can see margins getting affected in infrastructure, real estate, basic materials, and utilities. Peg currency regimes. All of the GCC countries, they have some sort of a peg to the US dollar. Well, this will help in keeping the import costs down. The problem with this strategy is that as interest rates increases in the US, the local governments would also be forced to increase their interest rates to keep parity with their pegged exchange rate. So what will happen is this will affect the margins of the banks and financial sectors. The internal factors would be employee cost. One of the main issues that are plaguing the industry in the GCC region is availability of skilled workforce. So as a result of which, companies fight for limited pool of resources, human resources, which in turn increases the cost for the companies. Another issue is the government pay increase for its employees. So these are main reason. These two factors are expected to affect utilities and energy sectors. Nationalization is another part of the problem. Well, the governments wants to provide employment opportunities for their youngsters. The challenge of finding people with the right requirements is still to be addressed. As a result, they could see a lot of issues for hiring companies. Most of the government regulations mandate that specific number of percentage of workforce to be of the local nationals. If such positions are not filled, it can cause a lot of problems to these companies. Finally, we look at the sector-wise analysis of NBFCs. NBFCs had the reason, if you look at it, Qatar, UAE, Oman, Bahrain, and Kuwait. Qatar has had the highest margins among the NBFCs. The main reason behind that is Qatar has been spending quite liberally on its FIFA 2022 World Cup. As preparations for that, there has been a lot of contracts that have been awarded to companies. So NBFCs also include these companies: real estate companies, insurance, asset management companies, leasing, etc. So all of which has benefited handsomely from the spending on FIFA 2022 football tournament. And even in case of UAE, you could look at these margins. They have expanded from 7.5% in 2011 to 30.7% in 2015. The initial sluggish period following the 2009 crash, it is now changed, and we could see that 2000 till 2004, the margin peaked in 2014. The reason for fall after that is because of the lower oil prices. Telecom sectors have, as we have previously seen, that telecom sector is quite, the market is quite saturated, and despite the fact that the market has limited players. Kuwait and Saudi Arabia, they have 4 telecom players. UAE has 3 telecom players, and other countries have 2 each. Even in this, UAE has had higher margins because of one of the companies turning into profit this year. Vodafone Qatar, it's another company in Qatar which it's still in the red. As a result of which, the margins in Qatar remains quite low. Basic materials, the companies that are involved uh, in, in production of cement, etc. They have also had they have been mostly affected by the oil price decline and subsequent slowdown in real estate. Their gains are mostly tied to real estate. And another problem with this sector is that they have no huge pricing power in their market. And with global factors like lower commodity prices and increased supply from China, this sector has actually not fared well. Industrials, these companies include shipping, aviation, and other service industries. The main reason of affecting this sector is the elongated working capital cycles, which is happening because the governments have started to reduce or rationalize their spending. As a result of which, the payments are now delayed and they are being staggered. As a result of which, Oman and Bahrain have had the most impact in the industrial sector. One of the biggest change to happen in the GCC region because of the oil price fall or the rationalization of subsidies, which comes to play in this utility and energy sector. Both of these companies in these sectors are highly subsidized by the governments, and as governments reduce their subsidies, it is expected to impact all of them negatively. We can see this change very visibly in Saudi Arabia. For example, their utilities had an average margin of 9.4% in 2014, but it has suddenly reduced to 3.7% in 2015. The reason is the reduction of subsidiaries. Well, Qatar, the reason behind Qatar utilities has entered into long-term contracts that have high at in the past, which has helped them in maintaining the margins. They have enough clauses in them to pass on the cost increase, or they have tied into long-term rates, as a result of which their margins are quite high. Okay, consumer non-cyclical industries, which include companies that are in production of food, poultry, fisheries, edible oil, etc. So they form a bulk of the consumer non-cyclical sector. All of the GCC countries are blessed with younger population who have a more disposable income at their hands, and as a result of which, and they follow a consumption center, which has actually helped in expansion of margins in all of the countries. UAE has more pronounced profit margins in consumer non-cyclical sectors only because of higher presence of expatriates in the country. Healthcare is another sector that has handsomely benefited because of certain changes in government regulations. For example, insurance, few years back, it was not health insurance was not mandatory. Post the decision by the governments to introduce mandatory healthcare, the healthcare insurance, this sector has had higher profitability. And the main reason behind that is there's a lot of prevalence of lifestyle related diseases like diabetes, heart attack, etc. in the GCC region. So, and as insurance, as people get more insurance, they also become more aware of the treatments that are preventive measures that are available, which has actually helped the sector. Okay, now we come to the final question: does higher margin lead to higher shareholder wealth creation or value creation? Okay, it is not a straightaway way we can answer this question. For example, the consumer cyclicals has had one of the low margins in the industries, but if you look at the average stock prices, it has got the highest 5-year CAGR in stock prices. Similarly, in case of consumer technology as well as in consumer non-cyclical, the margins are not in double digits, but still their 5-year stock prices have been in the double digits. Profitability is only one part of the equation. Well, they ensure the survival of the firm, evaluating growth opportunities and successfully investing in future resources. That is the one that adds the most value to the shareholders and long-term success. With this, we come to the end of this presentation. You can start asking your questions. So we have a question from one of our readers, which sectors could witness improvements in margins going forward? Okay, we expect consumer non-cyclical industries to benefit going forward, and while margin pressures are expected to continue in sectors such as basic materials, industries, energies, etc. We thank you all for attending the webinar.